What up, players? Happy Saturday night. We are here for our secret sermons, for our secret teachings of Jesus Saturday. And basically, for y'all who don't know, I wanted to start reading the Nag Hammadi scriptures, but I just didn't have any time in my life to do it. So I decided to start doing it here as a Saturday night theme. And many reasons play into the Saturday night theme. For one, I am always working on Saturday nights, so I come in late. So we do these late night. They are secret, forbidden Gnostic Gospels. So we call these our secret sermons. And many of these Gospels are secret teachings of Jesus that he gave his disciples. It's controversial whether or not people accept the Gnostic Gospels and the Nag Hammadi scriptures and the Dead Sea Scrolls, but I think they're interesting. And on a spiritual level, like the things that are coming through in these Gospels are already true to me because it's like I remember them from before, and it's like these are the things that I've been thinking about my whole life. And then now that I'm reading them many times for the first time together with us on camera, and then some of them I've read pieces of before, but it's like all of this information is like stuff that I've been thinking about for a really long time before I ever read it. So whenever I find out something that I already thought, and it's like a random synchronicity, that always kind of makes me feel like there's got to be something to it. I don't know, but I do enjoy it, and there are pearls of wisdom to glean from it either way. But so we do this late on Saturday because I come in from work, but also because the Jewish sages and mystics believe that midnight is a very powerful time of the day. And it is a liminal space between beginning and endings, and or I should say endings and beginnings. And midnight to dawn the next day is like the most powerful positive hours of the day. So when we study the slate during these positive hours, it can reveal even more understanding. Like the seed will be planted and fertilized, and even if we don't quite initially get it, the meaning of it will be revealed in layers and layers to us. So that is one of the aspects. Another reason is because when we are tired or when we don't feel like it and we push through anyway, those times reveal more light as well, because we have broken the body and the spirit of Eucharist and sacrifice and released that raw energy and potential, that pure creator light, right? So that's called building the vessel, when we push through our comfort zone in different ways in order to expand and grow, so that we can have more affinity with the light and be more God-like ourselves. So that is called earning the vessel, so that we can receive and hold the light, and it doesn't we don't short circuit. So, that catches you up as to why we do this late at night and the benefits from that. And basically, sometimes I've just read the portion once through right before the video starts. I will read this out loud poorly once through, and then we will go back and we will unpack. And so we have recently finished the the Secret Book of James, and now we are starting the Gospel of Philip. And I kind of skipped into a random section here with the Gospel of Philip because I just felt compelled to come to this particular portion, and I remembered that I had started to read this portion before, like weeks ago. So I think that there's something to it. With no further ado, we are going to read Going Down into the Water. Anyone who goes down into the water and comes up without receiving anything and says, "I am a Christian," has borrowed the name. But one who receives the Holy Spirit has the name as a gift. A gift does not have to be paid back, but what is borrowed must be paid. This is how it is with us when one of us experiences a mystery. Very exciting, very mysterious. Going down into the water. The water is a symbol that comes up again and again, especially in the Old Testament, particularly in Genesis. The water is the abyss. It is the deluge. It is that place that we go to when we go to the depths. These are, when we go into the water, I think they're saying here is that when anyone goes down into the water and comes up without receiving anything, that's like saying when you go through life's greatest trials and tribulations and challenges and you're taken to the depths of yourself and you are taken, like your soul is like quaking and you are feeling the depths of pain and the most bittersweet notes, you know? And you go through these things, these huge life events, and you're not changed by them, and your perception doesn't change, and your outlook doesn't change, and the way that you like meet life doesn't change at all. If you're not shaped by those experiences and expanded and evolved by them and awakened by them, then to call yourself a Christian, not modern Christians, ancient Christians. Ancient Christians were like serious. They were serious followers of a lifestyle, a practice of ascension. It was a practice of self-emptying. It was 7 stages of overcoming the demons within the self. The different shadow aspects of the soul, so that we can rise above and elevate those aspects. And so if you are going through the trials and tribulations of life and you're going down into that abyss, into that uncertainty, into that unknown place where you have to walk through the darkness, where you have to go through times where you don't know how it's going to go, and it's very scary. And if you can come through this and not be changed by it, then you haven't earned the title Christian, because you're not, like, you might be going through difficulty, but you're not doing the work of processing it, of making it the difficulty itself is only an opportunity. And within that difficulty, that pain can either shape you and make you even more stunning, like the pressure on a diamond and the heat, or it can make you bitter and sour and salty and stuck and rigid. And so it's the choice is yours, you know, it's ours. We have free will. That's what makes us, you know, so divine as beings, is our free will. And the fact that we have a soul and we're tempted to do wrong, and we have a dualistic nature and we have to choose to do right. That's what makes us greater than the angels. The angels are really just like these energy personalities, and they have sort of like this very set station, and they don't deviate, you know, from that much, because they don't have personal agendas. They're just like forces to be worked with, right? We are the ones in the physical realm, able to channel the light of the Creator. And we're here to do this amazing thing, this work of the soul, where we do the soul correction. And it takes lifetimes, and it's self-mastery, and it's an art, it's a masterpiece. And if you're just going through the motions and nothing's really changing you, then why would you call yourself Christian? You're not going through the process. You're not participating in it. So it's like, what does that even mean? Which is why, like, so many people instinctually are put off by the Christian church of today, because they're like, people are just going there as like a social club. They're not like being changed. They're not like great people when they leave, or they're not like taking it further. They're not, you know, letting it change them to the core, or, you know, they're just sitting there letting someone tell them how wrong they are and how ashamed they should be and how afraid they should be, you know, expecting to be punished if you don't get in line and do everything exactly the way everybody expects you to. You're going to go to hell. You're going to be disappointing. Jesus is going to be mad at you and he's not going to like you anymore. You know what that is? That's projection. That is codependency and enmeshment. Jesus is not codependent or enmeshed. You know what I mean? Like, he's not petty, right? Like, you know, and so like there have been these recent generations are like repelled by that because they're like, this is bullshit. But we don't need to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Jesus is great. The path of the Christ is a path of self-mastery and consciousness, and growing in affinity with the light of the Creator, the source of all that is. And so that is a discipline, and it's, and you know, it's like I don't know how to, like, not, is it discipleship a word? It's a discipleship of us to take on the stations of the cross and go through the process of spiritual alchemy and transmutation and that soul correction, right? So that's our assignment in this world. And so without receiving anything, says, I am Christian, and the name has been, he has borrowed the name. So has not really earned the name, has not created the vessel. So, you know, in this existence that we have, there is light, which is the source of all that is, which has like, is eternal. It's consistent. It's unchanging. It's unwavering. And it has always been and always will be. And then there is the vessel, which is this realm that the light comes into to take form and to take shape, right? And so it's like everything in life is just this like layered symbolism of light vessel, light container, you know? And so the study of this material is building the vessel being understanding and being able to embody these lessons and actually have them change your heart, change the way that you live, change the way that how you treat yourself and treat others, and how you understand things and perceive things, right? Okay, but one who receives the Holy Spirit has the name as a gift. And so one who receives the Holy Spirit is one who has been reborn, is, you know, it's like when we talk about having these death and rebirths, right? It's someone who really does all of a sudden see the light. I saw the light. I can see so clearly now. Once was blind, but now have seen. I understand the beautiful machinery of reality and how it all fits together. I understand, or at least I can begin to comprehend the, like, imagine understanding, you know what I mean? So, yeah, when it says, you know, that person has received the Holy Spirit, has the name as a gift, it's like someone who's decided, like, I'm going to change my life, and I want to grow, and I want to do the soul correction, and I want to really change who I am from the inside out, and they really do it, and they stick with it, and they devote themselves to the practice of allowing themselves to be changed, allowing the ego death to happen. You know, we can't force these things, but when we show up and we're willing and we open ourselves, life has a way of like starting the lessons. So yeah, the people who have invited that in and allowed themselves to be changed forever and allowed the awakening, the spiritual awakening to happen, begin to see and learn what they cannot unsee and unlearn. And so it does forever change you, and it opens you and expands you in ways that can't be taken from you after that. And so this person has the name as a gift, because that, you know, because the more you earn the vessel, the more light you receive, but the more surrounding light you have as well, which is grace, it's favor. It's the light that you've built by having so much affinity with the light that the darkness can't come near you because you're outshining it. And so you're on such a different vibrational level that like low vibrational things aren't resonating with you, right? You've built the surrounding light, you've built the vessel, you've allowed the Holy Spirit to come in through the portal of your heart, through that bridge, and move through you and allow, and you have chosen to be a channel for that light so that you can be a servant and show up and say, you know, like, guide me, lead me, show me where to go, what to say, or what to do, where to go, what to say, and to whom. Allow me to be a servant, you know. I am here to be truly helpful. That's from A Course in Miracles, but it has to do with being a conduit of the Holy Spirit. And so we want to bring more goodness and more light into the world. A gift does not have to be paid back, but what is borrowed must be paid. So the gift that they're talking about, that light that comes in, when we earn the vessel, we don't have a short circuit moment. We are able to have all of that power and that energy and that potential and that magic and those miracle, that all that miracle sauce, the pure light. It's like magical energy. And if we all of a sudden get dosed up with all this magical energy and we don't ground it and we didn't earn it, then it is going to start manifesting in our life as chaos and destruction and pain and unpleasantness and discomfort. And basically we just have to go through that in order to purify and earn the vessel quickly so that we can, you know, ground all that energy and embody it, right? So when we have allowed the work to be done, then we have earned the vessel, and the name, we have earned the name, right? We've created the vessel, and the light can flow through us and bring blessing and favor instead of chaos and calamity. But what is borrowed must be paid. And so this is true for magic too, because it's basically just different language talking about the same things. But when you take the light, or when you take energy from somewhere, it has to come from somewhere else. And so when you're just taking it by your own will and doing what you will with it without earning it and without thinking about the consequences, like, that's when chaotic things happen. That's when you have to go back and earn what you've taken. So a good example of this, and it's not always that we're doing this maliciously. Sometimes that's just the order of the window and the open portal in time. For instance, on Passover, so much light is there to be received because it's like this magical open portal of time where this energy comes through and it like does its work on our soul and our energy bodies and our light bodies. But it's so powerful that following Passover is, I can't remember how many days, but it's like 6 or 7 weeks of time called the Omer. And it is literally a 6 or 7 week period that challenges our soul on every single level in order for us to be able to earn the light that we just got from all, you know, this like energy openings or whatever. So once that has come in through Passover and we've connected with it, then we have to spend the next 7 weeks overcoming challenges, embodying the lessons that we've learned, workshopping it in real life. That's how we earn. We actually change how we respond to life, and we choose with our free will based on the wisdom and discernment that we have earned and lived in and experienced. And then we can make our choices based on that, but we want to work past being reactive to life. And we want to pause and ask, okay, well, why is this happening? What is this teaching me about myself? What is this showing me that I can strengthen, right? Or correct or enhance or elevate? So a gift does not have to be paid back. So when we have affinity with the light, the gift does not have to be paid back, meaning that there won't be chaos. We won't have to work off that light, or work off negativity in order to balance or sustain that, right? It integrates and it becomes blessing and favor. But what is borrowed must be paid. So if we take what we haven't earned yet, then it will probably result in a little bit of chaos. But it's okay. Just know that it's happening when it's happening, and embrace the discomfort, which is cleansing and purifying you, and embrace the lesson and use it to expand yourself, and just keep doing the best you can to move forward. All right. And then finally, this is how it is with us. This is how we do it. Sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. It's Friday, Saturday night. Okay, this is how it is with us when one of us experiences a mystery. And so I think that's just saying, like, when you've experienced this magical blessing or whatever, this is how it is. Like, if you are earning the vessel, then you will integrate the light, and it will be grounded, and you will be able to embody that, and it will be transmuted within your soul and manifested as surrounding light that will protect you, or blessings that will come through. And if you haven't earned it, then it will manifest in chaos, and you will have to sort of cleanse that negativity that you stole. It's like paying interest on a credit card, right? All right, you guys, I am exhausted. I feel like I was insane and I didn't say anything that made sense, but I bet you it does make sense when I go back and watch this later. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your weekend, and you'll probably be watching this on Sunday, so happy Sunday. And I will see y'all tomorrow night for our weekly oracle forecast. All right, Yens? Ciao.